to share the story the first time you met John or us, because that's for me. You just start the whole thing. Tell us the backdrop and just that whole encounter.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember like how we got to that point, like how we started.
Well,
like,
you
connected.
This was at the time you were, like you said, you were training Masvidal. You were his wrestling coach. That was the first time we got connected with the UFC.
At the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins. Yeah, the weigh-ins. And we were just kind of sitting in like the little special area.
Yeah.
That's right.
I looked at my dad, I was like, oh my God, that's Bo Nickel. He's like, who's Bo Nickel? And I was like, oh, Dad. So I went up to him. I was like, hey, at this point, I never like really went up to people at all.
Right.
But I saw him. I was like, I want to say hello. And I was like, hey, Bo, big fan. Nice to meet you. And he looks at me. He's like, Johnny Drinks?
I was like, Johnny Drinks?
And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, are you fucking with me? Because I had like a Johnny Drinks shirt on, so I thought he was like making fun.
No.
And he was like, dude, no, that's awesome. And then I was like, oh my God, we got to take a picture. Took a picture. We got connected. We did the whole thing with the up top stuff. And ever since then.
Yeah, I just remember like, so at that point, I didn't know you knew like wrestling. Yeah. So when you came up to me, I was like, oh my gosh, like Johnny Drinks, like this is crazy, bro. And then you're like, no, I know you. I'm like, you know me?
That's
what?
That's all I felt. I was like,
yeah. I was like, no way, that's crazy. Yeah. Then I'm not that far from you guys, so a few hours, and I'm in Jersey a decent amount.
Well, I gotta ask that now that I'm thinking about it. You don't drink. Like, what made you follow it? Like, what was like the
just entertaining, man. Like as the drinking thing for me is I don't drink because I feel like it's not that I don't enjoy that. Sure. It's a sacrifice, right? Like when I'm done competing, I'm gonna enjoy myself and have a drink and stuff. Basically, for me, when I was 18, senior in high school, going into college, I had these goals: 4-time undefeated national champion. I just, for whatever reason, told myself, I'm like, sometimes I just tell myself like, all right, I'm just gonna sacrifice this. I just want to. So I told myself, I'm not drinking one time throughout college. I'm not gonna do it. And so 5 years, didn't have a drink.
Wow.
Finished my college career, and then there was maybe like a 1 year period where I'd drink a glass of wine with dinner, have a drink casually at a wedding. I'm gonna drink, stuff like that, and just had more fun and loosened up a bit. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with drinking and competing. I think some people, but for me, I'm just not gonna do it. And so now I had that year-long period or so where I was, and now I'm like, okay, I set these new goals for myself. UFC champion, pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. It's back to the same thing. So I'm gonna take these next however long it takes, let's say 5 years, and do the same thing. I'm fully committed to my goals. When I get the belt, when I'm the pound for pound #1 guy, then we'll pop some bottles. But until then,
and we'll be there.
Yeah. Oh,
You're popping your first bottle for sure.
1,000,000%.
And then when you're ready to do a brand deal, you do it with us. We'll figure out some sort of whiskey or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And now you have a nickel smoothie we just created today.
Yeah.
You can market that.
And actually,
if you like.
turns out we're going to be airing this on the 28th. I am going sober for the month of April, and I'm saying this on the camera because I have my camera crew fucking I'm serious.
Watch your language.
I'm serious about this month.
Watch your mouth.
Sorry.
No, I'm playing.
I'm going 30 days, no drinking. And honestly, it's less about the health. It's going to be a health benefit, more about discipline. Like, I want to tell myself I'm going to do something, and then not a week in be like, oh, well, one drink can't hurt.
Yeah, I feel like it just gives me a little edge. Like, I'm just like, I'm willing to, obviously not drinking maybe for some people it might be a huge sacrifice. For some people it's maybe not. But for me, I'm like, I just want that edge. I want whatever mental edge I can get possible,
Right.
And of course I do a lot of other things, but that's just one thing where I'm like ahead of my competition in a way.
And I was going to say, it puts you mentally ahead of them. You see them drinking, you're like, I sacrificed this.
Yeah.
Now I'm automatically, in my mind, better than you.
And that energy, you can feel that in the cage. Like when somebody, in the mat too, when somebody's like all in on something and they're confident, you can sense it. And I know that my opponents sense that from me. I'm excited to compete against another person that has that same mentality because I want to beat the best guys. I don't want to just take the easiest path. I want to do the hardest things. And so, I haven't really felt that yet, but there was times in college where I'm like, this dude's ready to go. Like, let's get it. I'm here for it. So,
hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip, be sure to check this one out right here because it's just as good or maybe even better. Cheers.